I have your attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another live stream here on the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Today we're going to be looking at a really great topic, another good topic. We're going to look at MicroStrategy, now called Strategy Course, by Michael Saylor there, the number one DAT, digital asset treasury on Bitcoin, and how he is cleverly buying up all the Bitcoin. It is just going incredibly well. They've really repositioned their strategy since February, focused on their preferred stock, preferred stock, and of course that is STRC. So I had a little bit of a confusion there, but STRC is pretty amazing. So we're going to talk about how that is accumulating more Bitcoin than Bitcoin is being mined by at least 5 or 6x times. So this is a real game changer and is accelerating. So no wonder Michael Saylor's been so cool, calm, and collected, amongst other things, because he knows what he is doing, which is pretty crazy. So it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about it. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to smash the subscribe button on the way in. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels. And also don't forget to smash the follow button on the X account to scroll up to the top there and follow for more great content. This is going to be really insightful, hopefully, and you'll enjoy this. And see how the magic is working. A lot of people miss all this stuff because they're focused on buying cryptos, selling cryptos, but this is really what's going to actually pump your bags. So it's going to be pretty awesome. Let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into where we're heading here. So let's go to the strategy site and look at where that's all happening. And let's go for gold. So here it is on strategy. And funnily enough, we have a strategy club in the Discord. If you haven't joined up, smash the QR code there with your cell phone and join up today, just over $1 a day. Also, you'll find the links in the video description and pinned to the X profile as well. So get in on Strategy Club. We got strategy here from Michael Saylor. We got a number of products, of course. We've got the stock product here, MSTR. Then we have a couple of preferred stocks. And we got STRD, STRK, STRC, which is the big one we're going to talk about today, which pays monthly dividends. STRF, of course, in the play. So really clever stuff. We're going to show you where all these products are fitting in the market and how they're really smashing the bond market in many cases. Really clever. And I think we've only seen the beginning of all this really start playing out. These products are, of course, launching since last year. So you can see at the moment the MSTR price for strategy itself is currently $138. We've got the STRD there, currently $79 at a discount given the dividend confirmations. We've got STRK at $79. We've got STRC, which we're going to talk about at $100. Very important, the $100 milestone. As it goes above that $100, they're able to raise capital, right? So, and buy more Bitcoin. That's how STRC is contributing to the accumulation of Strategy's Bitcoin big deposit, which we're going to talk about. We've got STRF there as well, $102 right now. And they all have different expiries and obviously different payment frequencies and things like that. So there are nuances to each of them. So that is a bit of an overview of strategy.com. Just to give you an idea, there's a lot of cool metrics on there, very important metrics there as well. They also have a number. If you look up more information, you'll be able to find all the brokerages that you can buy all these assets on. So if you are keen to pick up MSTR or STRC or something like that, you can go through a lot of these brokers here, particularly if you're in the US, particularly friendly for that. All right, so let's jump over into the big view. Why are these products being launched from Michael Saylor? What is he up to? Well, he's up to some pretty good magic there. Obviously, Bitcoin expected to keep growing. I think Michael Saylor uses a number, something like 45% per year, something like that. And so they want to pay part of that capital appreciation back to people that contribute to the preferred stock and the MSTR shares, right? So they can issue MSTR shares, and of course, they're particularly focused on raising capital through what they call an ATM at the market. price for STRC, right? So anytime STRC is over $100, they can really raise capital at that time. And combining MSTR shares and STRC capital raise, they're able to buy more and more Bitcoin and feed the beast, increasing their collateral. Very, very cool, while also contributing to pushing the Bitcoin price and eating up all the Bitcoin miner volumes that are getting emitted every day, around 300 to 500 Bitcoin. So pretty awesome stuff going on there. You can see how he's particularly targeted each market. So if we look at Bitcoin at the moment, around 2 trillion, let's say, and then we look at the gold market here. This is all a bit outdated, of course. The gold now is up 40, 50 trillion, but here on here it's 22. We look at art collectibles, 27 trillion. We look at equities, 135 trillion. Obviously, these numbers have all changed a bit. Retail, real estate, 370 trillion. Bonds, 318 trillion. Money market, 129 trillion in this example. And look where these offerings that Michael Saylor set up sit, right? They sit STRK attacking the convertible notes, STRF, STRD attacking the bond market there. When I say attacking, offering the bond market, and offering really high yields compared to the bond market, right? And also the money market there with the STRC, and the yields are pretty amazing. So these are the markets that Michael Saylor is tapping in and getting capital raised from, right? Pretty huge. So obviously people can buy MSTR, and of course they can issue that, but the STRC one is the one that's really being pushed. And look at this dividend here. If you can earn a couple of percent on the bond market, you can earn 11.5% here with STRC. So it's a no-brainer. It's absolutely crushing. Many of the bond market offerings are really turning things upside down for the bond and money market, in particular this case, the money markets itself. So pretty exciting stuff. Now, at the money just basically means if it gets over $100, there's such demand, then they can raise more capital at the market. And so that's what they do. So we're going to have a look at some of the key details of that. We've got Sean in the house there, up only 369. Good to see you, Sean. Big shout out. Watching from the plane, heading home from NFQ. Nice one there, Sean. All the best on the flight back. He's flying back from paradise a little bit there. So let's jump over to some of the cool things. So this is what the offerings are. This is the markets that they're trying to tap into, and they're completely turning up the traditional bond markets, money markets on their heads by offering super high yield. You can see 11.5% here for STC. Even Stride there is 10%. Strike there is 8%. STRE there as well. You got that, and then of course 10% on STRF long duration dividends there. But we're going to focus on STRC here, 11.5%. Pretty amazing stuff. All right, so let's jump into some of the big stuff there. Strategy now holds 3.5% of the total Bitcoin supply, and this strategy is really just kicked into gear with the STRC product since February. They've really upped their game, and this is something that he alluded to a couple of years back about. Imagine if you had a big buyer that continually buys all the time. And is buying more than the blocks that are emitted on the blockchain, which we're going to look at in a minute too. Then price go up, right? Price go up over time. Obviously, you got big players that can still move markets around, but that is the basic idea. Following yesterday's massive buys of 18,000 Bitcoin, which was a really beautiful surprise in the market, right? Strategy now holds over 3.5% of the supply. In fact, I'm going to scroll this up a little bit so you can see it a bit easier. Let's have a look there. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? And so, 3.5% of supply and circulation, according to data from Bitcoin Treasuries. The company controls 738,731 Bitcoin, representing approximately 3.5%. Now, that's gone up even more since then. Bitcoin total supply cap of 21 million Bitcoin as well. And we just reached around 20 million mined so far. So we only got 1 million to go until, 2141. So there we go. Strategy's holding account now for over 60% of the 1.1 million Bitcoin held across all tracked public companies, underscoring its unparalleled dominance in corporate Bitcoin ownership. This achievement cements Strategy's role as the leading institutional accumulator of Bitcoin, turning the company into a de facto proxy for Bitcoin in public equity markets. Its treasury strategy, and this is where really the secret sauce, the cleverness is coming in, treating Bitcoin as the primary reserve, has consistently outpaced peers in both scale and conviction. Tracking back Strategy's Bitcoin journey has not been nothing short of meteoric. the company crossed the 3% threshold of Bitcoin supply in August 25, when the founder and chairman Michael Saylor announced the acquisition of 3,000 Bitcoin for $356 million, pushing holders to 632,000 at the time. Now, one of the engines powering this relentless accumulation is Strategy's perpetual preferred stock, STRC, known as Stretch, which has experienced a remarkable surge in demand and trading activity. In the most recent period, the company raised $377 million by issuing 3.7 million STR shares, with proceeds directly funding around 5,300 Bitcoin, around 30% of the 18,000 Bitcoin it recently announced it acquired. Trading volumes have soared, including more than 2 million shares traded, exceeding 200 million value on March the 3rd, 2026, and nearly 2.9 million shares with close to $300 million in volume around March the 9th. STRC trades near its $100 par value and currently offers an 11.5% annualized monthly dividend yield, attracting investors who favor consistent income over direct volatility of Bitcoin. Now, of course, not only that, but as I pointed out in the chart here, it's really attacking the money market. And how are they going to compete with that yield? I mean, it's crazy. And of course, it's got the collateral of the Bitcoin itself. So pretty amazing stuff there. So that's some of the backdrops there. In comments to Bitcoin Treasury Strategies, Bitcoin's Michael Saylor, manager, Chatner there, Jane, stated this is only going to accelerate as STRC continues to trade in its target between $99 and $101 and Bitcoin price recovers. Today, with holdings valued at the tens of billions, representing the lion's share of corporate treasuries, Strategy continues to set the pace for Bitcoin integration among public companies, while others have followed suit at on a smaller scale. Few can replicate its relentless execution or sheer size. As Bitcoin's fixed supply becomes increasingly apparent, with over 95% already mined, Strategy's commanding position highlights its central role in the ongoing shift towards digital assets as a legitimate store of value. The firm's approach has transformed perceptions of corporate treasury management, demonstrating how a single asset can serve as a powerful counterweight to traditional fiat exposure. Strategy's trajectory illustrates Bitcoin's growing acceptance of a strategic reserve, which itself, with each acquisition, the company reinforces a conviction to Bitcoin's scarcity-driven value proposition in an era of persistent monetary expansion. As institutional interest continues to build, Strategy remains at the forefront of showcasing the potential of Bitcoin as a foundational element for modern corporate finance. And you can see with this chart, it really shows you they're not just a store of value, but actually they are offering products and taking market share away from traditional offerings in the bonds and money market, because they're offering not 3-4%, they're offering 10, 11, 12%. And so it's an absolute game changer there, all backed on the back of Bitcoin. So pretty clever strategy there. The other one, of course, is Strategy Inc. has significantly expanded its Bitcoin. We already talked about that with the 18,000 Bitcoin buy. It was very clever. The central element of this acquisition is contribution from STRC, Strategy's variable rate Series A perpetual stretch preferred stock. Proceeds from the sale of 3.8 million shares generated $377 million. So a huge contribution there, adding an extra 5,300 Bitcoin, accounting for roughly 30% of the total 18,000 recently added. So absolute game changer. And at the moment, just over the last 24 hours, they're adding thousands more. It is just going crazy, guys. In terms of how much is adding here. So it's really big deal. And we're going to have a look at some of the other stuff there. So apparently the surges in STRs is just going to continue to accelerate. And no wonder Michael Saylor is laughing there because the strategy is working out like a dream. So now you've got these institutions there contributing a lot of value in the turnover every day to buy more and more Bitcoin for Strategy through both STRC and also through MSTR. So pretty big deal there. Some of the ratios there have been pretty cool. And of course, this recent STR proceeds purchased 4,277 Bitcoin. The actual figure revealed was a staggering 5,300. And that's accelerating, guys. It's accelerating. So it's absolutely huge deal there as well. You can actually watch it on strc.live as well. And of course, that is continuing to go up and up and up. It is really quite mind-boggling there at the moment. And so that's some of the key stuff there. You got the manager here, STRC and MSTR is the ultimate accumulation machine. So they're accumulating more Bitcoin. It's all just self-fulfilling, perpetual cycle there. and on the way up it goes. So the structure of bear markets has changed forever. We were supposed to be in this bear market this winter, and here we are. They are accumulating more Bitcoin than ever. It is insane. So if this demand for STR persists, it could enable Strategy to purchase over 18,000 Bitcoin per month solely from STRC proceeds, not even MSTR, the actual main stock. So that is crazy, without diluting common shareholders, which is what you do when you launch MSTR there. The strategy continues to innovate, blending traditional finance with Bitcoin. The rise of STRC exemplifies how high yield instruments can drive corporate treasury strategies, because they're going to leave these old lower yield money markets and bond markets behind, right? New players are going to be, get more confidence into these offerings, and want that capture that 11.5% yield, at least while it lasts. So that's pretty cool. So that's some of the really good stuff happening there. And just to give you a bit of a benchmark on that, they do make quite a bit of value there with MSTR. They buy Bitcoin with that, but they're also buying Bitcoin now with STRC, and of course at an increasing rate, right? So at an increasing rate, and therefore they're really starting to buy some huge amounts of Bitcoin, which is pretty huge. So and that 18,000 Bitcoin announcement on the last weekly buys was just unbelievable, and it looks like it's just going to go bigger and bigger and bigger, guys. Obviously subject to where Bitcoin price is at as well. So huge stuff happening. That's all possible because of the volume of trade that's going on for these instruments. And that's what I keep saying, for Strategy and for Bitmine Immersion on Ethereum, they're the leaders in volume. They dominate over 90% of volume trade, and therefore they have access to raise this capital. And of course, they just self-fulfill. They buy more Ethereum and more Bitcoin, and they just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And offering high yields for Bitcoin is a very exotic strategy. Of course, with Bitmine Immersion on Ethereum, they can do staking, right? With the staking yield potentially over 3%. So that is kind of some of the cool stuff there. Let's have a look at some of the generations here, so you can sort of see it together with the STR price around $100. You have seen that they make a certain amount of volume a day. So Monday they made 315 million volume. They made 409 million volume on Tuesday. And they were able to do at the market there. So at the market means raising capital there, 43% on Monday of that volume and 43% on Tuesday. That means that estimated ATM or at the market proceeds was 135 million on Monday, 176 million on Tuesday. So we're now in the next week, right? From last week's $18,000 Bitcoin buy with 5,300 from STRC. And so far already, they've done enough to raise at the ATM proceeds and the average Bitcoin price. You can see 69,000 there and 70,000. Another almost 2,000 Bitcoin on Monday and 2,500 Bitcoin on Tuesday. This is regardless of issuing new MSTR shares, which is more the dominant one. It's probably maybe let's say 60% of the raise or something like that, maybe 2/3 of the raise through MSTR shares, but increasingly STRC is becoming a bigger player. So this is huge, guys, and so they're buying more and more Bitcoin equivalent there, and it's just going to go up and up and up. So already in 2 days, they're already up at 44,458 Bitcoin equivalent just from STRC, and not even including MSTR, the stock. So it is an absolute game changer, guys, and it's a big deal. So if you imagine that they're doing, around 2,000 a day, well, the Bitcoin block reward at the moment is, you're only getting like maybe 400 or 500 Bitcoin a day at the moment. And so, that's huge, right? That's huge. If you're doing already managing to accumulate, 2,000 Bitcoin in a day, you're already 4 or 5 times the amount of Bitcoin reward in a day. So they're actually buying up more Bitcoin than there is being mined, which is crazy, regardless of all the other market players. That is what's happening with this treasury. So it's absolutely huge. And we've got the price of Bitcoin here now at 69,905. And you've got this STRC product, this preferred stock product, is a buying engine. It's buying engine. So and we often find a lot of Bitcoin guys, maybe not be selling either. But at the moment, you've got just this one mechanism. And if you've got the MSTR stock as well issuance adding in, then you're looking at another 13,000 based on last week's raise, right? 13,000 plus another whatever they raise this week, 7, let's say 14,000. You're getting up to 25,000 Bitcoin buys a week. maybe even more, right? So 15,000 is huge, right? 15,000. I mean, let's say we even do 400 Bitcoin per day, times 7, that's 2,800. And so you're already, 5, 6, 7 times, 8 times that amount. So, 10 times that strategy will be buying. And the market is just starting to tag onto this, just starting to pick up on this. It is a game changer, guys. So very, very awesome stuff happening there. Obviously, volumes and interest have to stay elevated, but we are definitely seeing that with SDR so far, and it's really starting to ramp up. So I don't know, this could be becoming a bit of a snowball as we move forward, right? So a bit of a snowball. It is pretty exciting stuff. So hopefully this has given a really good background behind some of the magic sauce there that's going on, and let's see where this Bitcoin price goes, right? Because there's quite a bit of buying power coming into the market from STRC, and you can see here, that's 135 million, 176 million a day coming in, 300 million in 2 days. It's crazy. It's crazy. So you're probably looking at $1 billion potentially for the week of buying pressure, and that's amazing. That's amazing. And we covered Bitcoin immersion to some degree with they're at the market raising a capital as well. Both of them, of course, Strategy and Bitcoin immersion have some of the top volume per day. Bitcoin immersion, I think, was ranked 125 top volume out of 5,700 companies, and Strategy, of course, is even higher than that. So it's game on. It's game on, and what a great source. This is what Michael Saylor was probably alluding to when he said, "Imagine having a big whale buyer just buying constantly more than is being mined." And that's where we are today. We find ourselves today, and it is starting to accelerate from February onwards. So where's it going to go in the next weeks and months ahead? It's insane, and so look forward to this keep growing and growing and growing. And what that means is that we talked about Michael Saylor there having a huge amount of Bitcoin, 740,000 Bitcoin. They're going to start adding 25,000 Bitcoin a week. Just in a month, that could be 100,000 Bitcoin, taking them to 840,000. What really start accelerating away? I mean, that's been kind of counterintuitive, and less dilution as well through the STRC, and it's just up and away. So, and you're just increasing that collateralization of Bitcoin. So it really is going to be fun to see this play out, and I hope you guys have appreciated just checking this out, this whole topic, because it's pretty exciting. And Bitcoin's trying to get back over 70K right now, and this is going to be helping that big time. All right, so that's pretty much it on this topic. Don't have much more to add to it, but really, there's a games afoot, right? The big players are doing some pretty big games. They are, taking over TradeFi, offering better products, and also bringing everybody over to blockchain. The big DATs are playing a mega role, as we've covered in the last 2-3 days. Between Bitcoin immersion and Strategy. There are a few others, of course. SBET's still playing a pretty good role too in DeFi as the second biggest East treasury there. But it's fun to see, isn't it? Really fun to see. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to YouTube, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, hit the bell for more great videos. We're trying to do as many insightful videos as we can moving forward to really unlock the secret sauce that's happening behind the scenes with the crypto markets. And of course, don't forget, also hit the follow button on X. Share the channels around too if you love this content. The last thing I'd say is don't forget to join Strategy Club. If you want to get intel constantly every day, we're posting that in there non-stop. You can see the QR code just below me here on the video. You can use your phone to join up. Just over $1 a day, very reasonable and great value. So join up there, and we'll see you in Discord. Also, if you're on YouTube, you can check the video description for joining up as well, and also on X. We do have a general Discord membership, $12.50 a month, and Strategy Club's $35 a month. So great value there. We'll catch you in those groups once you get in there. All right, take care. We're going to have another great show tomorrow. And hey, look, I might end up having a big project team coming on to the show very soon. Again, we just had Emmett Farm the other day. What a great video that was. So look forward to another big project coming up as well. We're going to talk about that. So hope everyone enjoys. And Sean O'Malley, on your flight back, I hope it is a good one. And you watch a good movie, maybe. Watch a good movie. Maybe you watch something about Bitcoin accumulation. How about that? All right, take care, everybody. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.